The boy shivered, but he was not cold. He had run through white-mantled fields and silent woods, his leather-soled shoes sinking deep in places, his blood in spate, pulsing in his ears, a ceaseless rhythm that he would not fall behind. It was late in the day. The sun was low, a bronze disk, and the boy's own shadow lay stretched across the snow, tall and misshapen, like the spirit of the man he would one day become, looking back at the child he now was. There. He stood on a low rise, bare black oaks behind him, a valley below, breathing hard so that clouds of fog wreathed his head, forming and dissipating with the rise and fall of his chest. There they are! He was far from home now, and he knew his mother would be worried for him and angry at him for running away. There was a distant thrill in that knowing, but it was nothing compared with the fire that filled him now at the sight below. He uttered a curse, a man's words from a boy's lips. But it felt right, for even a boy of just 10 winters knows when he is about to witness something that might never be seen again. He counted, taking his time because every one mattered. 78, he said at last, when he was sure. 78 men and horses, milling in clouds of steaming breath. Helmets and spear blades and ringmail as grey and dull as the clouds now moving in from the north, and the dark blood red of woolen tunics and cloaks, and the dyed horsehair plumes flowing from their helmets. And round shields strapped on their left arms, painted red with a yellow ring enclosing a blue circle around the iron boss at the centre, so that it seemed each man carried the strange eye of some foreign god from distant, sun-scorched lands, where Roman shrines were slung with smoke, fragrant with myrrh, lavender, and frankincense. There was snow on the air now. The boy looked up, closed his eyes, felt for a moment the soft caress of it on his skin, each snowflake landing like a mother's gentle kiss. Normally, he would revel in the promise of a flurry, but this was no time for childish amusements. He opened his eyes and turned his face down to the valley, squinting as the snow came at him on a cool breath, laced with leather and lanolin and the sweet, pungent scent of horses. Those horses and their masters were moving, forming 2 lines facing west towards the setting sun. Men checking straps and helmets and pushing their cloaks back to free sword hilts. The animals nickering and neighing and pawing at the brittle snow with their iron-shod hooves. Perhaps they, too, felt the weight of the moment, somehow sensed the passing of an age in the fading light. The boy had never seen their like. Many folk did not believe they existed at all beyond tales gilded by firelight and fable, for they were said to have left the Dark Isles with the usurper Magnus Maximus. If that were true, then these horse soldiers were ghosts, or else the boy was still tucked in his furs and dreaming. But no, ghosts only walked abroad on Samhain, and one did not feel snowflakes on one's eyelids in a dream. What the boy was seeing was real, he knew. Flesh, blood, and bone. The last of the horse soldiers. Men left behind at the western edge of a withering empire. The last equites Romani in a twilight time. But it was not enough to see them at a distance and through snow blur. So he sucked a cold breath across his teeth, bent to tie the ankle thong of his left shoe, which had worked loose, and ran.